This is problem 7-56 from section 7.1.4 homework. It says, what angle in the first quadrant could you reference to help you find the sine and cosine of each of the following angles? So I'm looking for an angle in only the first quadrant. So all of these answers should be between 0 and 90 degrees because those are what's in the first quadrant. Okay? So those should be my answers. So let's first draw for part A. Let's draw. We're always going to start with our horizontal line from the center over to the right. And at 330, that's like all the way around here, except a little bit less. So stop there. So I know that's 330. What I really want to know is how much is this angle right here. So for the first one, if I went all the way around, it would be 360. And I'm going to take away how far I went around. So I went 330 degrees around. I could just use this number and then take into consideration the positive or negative direction, but I'm going to get the same number, like values, for my sine and cosine. So I take 360 minus 330 will give me 30 degrees for part A. Okay. So this one right here, that'll be 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to erase my circle stuff. Then we look at the next one. Again, I'm going to start with my horizontal line from the center out. So I have 120 degrees. So I'm thinking here's 90. I'm going a little bit more. So this is probably like 120. Now I want to know the angle between 0 and 90 that would give me kind of the same idea as 120 degrees. So I know that is 180 degrees, right? All the way around is 180. So what I'm going to do is I'm at 180 degrees. I didn't quite go all the way around there. So I'm going to take away how far I did go. So that's going to give me 60 degrees. So equivalent expression. Right, we drew triangles a while ago. So we have this is going to give me about the same height as if I was over here. So 60 degrees is going to give me the same values. Now what's going to be different is my cosine for this one. If I drop it down here from 120, this is to the left of my center. At 60 degrees, it's to the right. So that's, if they asked you to find the sine or cosine, you just need to think about it. It's a little bit different than the actual cosine or sine of 60 if you're given, really, your degrees is 120. Okay, so I'm using kind of my reference angles here. I'm finding reference angles for these numbers. So let's do part C. I have 113 degrees, so pretty close to 120. I'm going to do a very similar idea. I'm going all the way around. Here's 90. I'm a little bit past that, so this is 113 about. So we're going to think about this. How far did I go? I would have gone 180 degrees around. This would be 180. So I kind of want to figure out what is this angle right here, because I could just do that same thing in the first quadrant. So 180 minus 113 is going to give me my reference angle. Okay? So 180 minus 113 is going to give me 67 degrees. So if I drew a similar angle over here, they're going to give me similar degrees. Now my reference angle would be 67 here. Okay. So the last one here is 203 degrees. So this is originally going to be in the third quadrant. This is first, past 90, I'm past 180, I'm a little bit past 180. Okay, so this is 203 degrees right here. So what I'm going to do to figure this one out, instead of taking 180 minus my number, I'm going to take my number because I went past 180, and I want to know, whoops, that's a 3. That should be a 3 right here. So I want 203 degrees minus 180. I want to know how many degrees past 180 I went. So if I subtract those, I'm going to get 23 degrees. So if I go right across here, boop, 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 right across there, this would give me my 23 degrees that I could use as my reference angle. Okay? So I'm kind of relating these angles to 180 degrees to compare. Now if I was given an angle like the first one, the 330 degrees, where I was all the way in the fourth quadrant, that's when I'm going to use 360. When I'm in the other two quadrants, in the second and in the third, When I'm over on the left side of my circle, that's when I'm going to be comparing my numbers to 180. Okay, so this is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth. When I'm over in 2 and 3, that's when I'm comparing it to 180. If I'm in 4, I'm comparing it to 360. If I'm in quadrant 1, that's just what it is, because we're usually trying to get an answer that's in quadrant 1 numbers. Okay? So I use my reference angle, comparing it to 360 and 180.